Hi, and welcome to Cenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
All right, if you're a new parent, you know you're going to be tired, right? It kind of comes with the territory. But what if it's more than that? In this explainer, we are digging into postpartum insomnia, something that's often just brushed aside, but is incredibly real, and more importantly, it's treatable.
So, does this picture feel a little too familiar? The house is finally quiet, the baby is asleep, but you're just wide awake, staring at the ceiling, your mind racing. If that's you, then you are in exactly the right place. You know, that deep, bone-weary exhaustion, but at the same time, this frustrating inability to actually fall asleep? That's not just something you have to power through. We need to talk about the difference between normal new parent sleep disruption and something else entirely. So let's put a name to it. What are we actually talking about here? Postpartum insomnia is specifically this. It's the ongoing struggle to sleep even when you have the chance to. That last part is the absolute key.
Okay, so let's start with the big question, right? How can you tell if what you're experiencing is just the normal chaos of having a newborn or if it's tipped over into actual insomnia?
And here it is. This is the crucial difference. Normal disruption is when you're awake because the baby needs you. They're crying, they need a change, they're hungry. Postpartum insomnia, on the other hand, is when the baby is sound asleep and your brain just will not switch off.
And what does that actually feel like in the middle of the night? Well, it feels like racing thoughts the second your head hits the pillow. It feels like taking forever to finally drift off, only to find yourself wide awake again an hour later. If any of that is ringing a bell, you're looking at the classic signs.
So the first thing to know is that if this is happening to you, it is not your fault. It's caused by a perfect storm of factors, both things happening inside your body and in your new environment.
First up, hormones. Man, they go on a wild ride. After birth, your levels of estrogen and progesterone just plummet. And these hormones are key players in regulating what's called your sleep architecture. You know, the natural cycle of deep sleep and light sleep. When they drop off a cliff, that whole system gets thrown into chaos.
Then you've got your internal body clock, your circadian rhythm. Think about it. Late night feedings, getting blasted with bright bathroom light at 3 a.m., not getting enough daylight during the day. All of it completely confuses your body about when it's supposed to be awake and when it's supposed to sleep.
And of course, there's the mental load. Is the baby breathing? Are they warm enough? Am I doing this right? That constant state of high alert and worry is the absolute enemy of sleep. It keeps your mind buzzing right when it needs to be powering down.
And hey, let's not forget the purely physical side of things. Your body is healing from a major event. Discomfort, soreness from childbirth or from feeding. Sometimes it's just physically impossible to get comfortable enough to fall asleep and stay that way.
So this all leads to a really important question. Why does this matter so much? Because a lack of sleep isn't just about feeling tired. It creates this huge ripple effect that touches every single part of your well-being.
You know, chronic sleep loss just makes everything harder. It can amplify anxiety, it makes you more irritable, and it can turn what should be simple daily tasks into these monumental challenges. The bottom line is pretty simple. Protecting your sleep is protecting your mental health.
So, given all this, when is it time to raise your hand and say, you know what, I think I might need some help with this?
Here are some really clear guidelines. If this has been going on for more than a couple of weeks, if it's genuinely making it hard for you to function during the day, or if you notice your mood just getting steadily worse, it is time to reach out. You do not have to wait until you are at a breaking point.
And now, let's get to the good news. There are highly effective, proven ways to treat this. So let's open up the toolkit and look at how you can get back to getting some rest. So the gold standard treatment here isn't a pill. It's a type of therapy called CBTI. It's basically a structured program that helps you break those negative cycles of thoughts and behaviors that are keeping you awake. And it is incredibly effective because it gives you skills for the long haul, not just a temporary fix. So what does that look like? Well, it starts with just educating you about how sleep works. Then you move into things like stimulus control, which is a fancy way of saying you retrain your brain to see your bed as a place for sleep, and only sleep. Sleep restriction sounds a bit scary, but it's a temporary step that actually helps make your sleep more solid and efficient. And finally, it gives you real tools to manage all that nighttime worry. It's all about building practical skills.
On a really practical level, planning is everything. This here just shows a few ways you could organize nighttime care with a partner. Just talking about these trade-offs and making a clear plan can reduce so much stress and help you both get more predictable chunks of rest.
And while these sleep hygiene tips alone probably won't cure insomnia, they absolutely create the right conditions for sleep to happen. Limiting caffeine, putting screens away, getting some daylight, they're all small but powerful steps that support your bigger treatment plan.
Okay, we have covered a lot. So what do you do with all this information tonight? Let's build a simple, clear action plan.
Think of this as your if-then guide. So, if you're having a few rough nights, then just start a simple sleep diary. If it keeps going for 2 weeks, then it's time to start looking into those CBTI strategies. And critically, if your mood is getting worse, then contact your doctor right away. This gives you clear, concrete steps to take.
And as we wrap up, I really want to leave you with this thought. The pressure to get a perfect 8 hours of sleep with a newborn is just unrealistic. The goal here is not perfect sleep. It's predictable, restorative rest that is good enough to support your health and your well-being.
So what is one small step you can take for your rest tonight? Maybe it's putting your phone away 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's having that conversation with your partner. Whatever it is, taking that first small step is how you begin to reclaim your sleep. Thanks for joining this explainer.
Thank you for watching Cenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit Cenario.com. See you in the next one.